Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. The Dhoni Wamuchomba has betrayed Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino badly. And I doubt whether the two will be able to recover from that betrayal. Yesterday, there was a serious political storm in Mount Kenya in the morning. And a Noro FM presenter made some serious allegations about the Dhoni Wamuchomba and the betrayal on the opposition. According to this presenter, he was present at Kimani Ichung'wah's home on Saturday. Also present on that day was none other than the Dhoni Wamuchomba. The Dhoni Wamuchomba had gone there to condole with the family of Kimani Ichung'wah following the death of their father. But that was not the problem. The problem came when Kimani Ichung'wah was addressing the mourners present. According to this presenter, Kimani Ichung'wah shocked everybody that the Dhoni Wamuchomba is actually a personal friend and that they've always used the Dhoni Wamuchomba as their agent in the opposition. And that she has always provided them with the critical information which they've always needed. And that currently, the Dhoni Wamuchomba is on a mission in Kenya moja. And the mission are simple too. First one, to help them split Mount Kenya votes, so that Mount Kenya votes will not go in one basket. And after that, the other intention is to help them, which is strategic anyway, to rally the support of the Gen Zs who are opposed to them now to this other group. Ladies and gentlemen, if that allegation is true, then Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna are in big trouble. And I took my time and went through the Dhoni Wamuchomba's Facebook page. She's been trying to defend those allegations. For example, this is what she posted some 11 hours ago. Gossiping only reveals the insecurities of the gossiper, not the truth about the person being talked about. Normally in politics, when you see someone coming to defend these allegations the way she's coming out, it means there is some element of truth. An hour later, she went and posted another thing, trying to explain now what happened. I went to condole with the Ichung'wahs, but I didn't join in the funeral since I had a family funeral in Rimuru, Muregeti today, which is fine. Nobody's having any problem. In fact, personally, I don't even have any problem the Dhoni Wamuchomba going to Kimani Ichung'wah's home for that funeral. No problem with that at all. And she's proceeding here. Ichung'wah's sisters are my supporters and friends, and nothing can change this. No problem. His mother is my friend too, and I sat next to her all through the service. You see, this is where now the problem is. Even if Dhoni Wamuchomba sat next to Kimani Ichung'wah during this funeral, who would have cared? Nobody. Because this was a funeral. These are MPs. Kenyans know that these guys are actually friends. Why deny? Why deny? These guys are always friends. And she's proceeding here. Those creating lies and propaganda can sell the lies and get rich. You see, there's no way the Dhoni Wamuchomba can deny being friends to Kimani Ichung'wah. We live in this country. These guys, even Babu Owino, you can be surprised that Babu Owino is friend to someone in Kenya Kwanza government. Even Edwin Sifuna might be close to someone like, say, Aaron Chariot, because at personal level, those are friendship. Friendship and politics are totally different things. And she's proceeding here. I differ with Honorable Kimani politically, but that does not stop me from associating with his siblings and neighbors since death knows no politics. you can spin your lies to your snow. And it's true, I'm in team Kenya moja to take us go home early in the morning. You see, this is where I have problem with Gathoni Wamuchomba. I mean, there's even nothing wrong with her being friends to Kimani Ichung'wah. There's nothing. These politicians, all of them, sometimes they even fight. Then in private, or even after they fight, they go and talk over it, over a cup of coffee. But I want to take you back to 2022. For those who followed that election, Raila Odinga was definitely destined to win that presidency. But the question is, how did William Ruto manage to outsmart Raila and Uhuru? The answer to that question is simple. Infiltration. William Ruto invested heavily in that campaign, and he knew so well that for him to succeed, he needed to get into the inner circles of Raila Odinga, into the inner circles of Uhuru Kenyatta, he needed to get into the core teams managing that campaigns. William Ruto got a breakthrough. For those in government, because Raila Odinga's campaigns were two, there were those within the government whom Uhuru Kenyatta trusted. That's where we had Kibicho. That's where we had the former DCI director. That's where we used to have even Haji. We used to have Monica Juma. It is alleged that Monica Juma and Haji were Ruto's people. Sana Monica Juma. And that these guys would always meet. And immediately after coming up with strategy, William Ruto will get the raw strategy. And that's how William Ruto was able to counter each and every move they were making. And that's why even Raila Odinga's campaign were able to implement some very unpopular things which ensured they lost. That was from the side of the government. From the political side, Raila was so sure that the only things he had always lacked was the deep state, because he had the numbers. Now he had the numbers and he had the deep state. But there was the equation of Mount Kenya. William Ruto was banking fully on the support of the mountain. So he also needed someone in Uhuru Kenyatta circles. According to people I've talked to, this is something I'm saying for the first time. Gathoni Wamuchomba was that person. I want to ask you this question. Was Gathoni Wamuchomba one of the key supporters of the handshake? The answer to that is yes. I just want you to go back to history and check whether Gathoni Wamuchomba was supportive of the handshake. She supported that handshake fully, but she was working for William Ruto. When the right time came, just a few weeks to UDA nominations, she bolted. By the time she was bolting, she was the lady who was responsible for Jubilee activities, coordinating Jubilee aspirants in Kiambu and the entire Mount Kenya. She left, and that's how Ruto won. She left. She went to UDA last minute, and she got the ticket. There is no way she would have got the ticket. No way. If Ruto did not want. She got it anyway. Why? Because she was on this side on a mission. I don't want to doubt that story. Know that this other one is also coming up. But how will this affect Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna? That's exactly what I want us to analyze in this video. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something which Rigathi Gachagua said, was it over the weekend, that William Ruto is sponsoring some small wheelbarrows. And most people interpreted it to mean Ndindi Nyoro only. I'm now starting to think that Rigathi Gachagua has elaborate intelligence system. And there are certain things he's saying which could actually be true. And that wheelbarrow is not only Ndindi Nyoro, maybe even Gathoni Wamuchomba. And that can explain why Rigathi Gachagua has avoided bringing Gathoni Wamuchomba on board for a very long time. Remember, Even Rigathi Gachagwa's camp was infiltrated by Wambugu Ojiri. He realized very fast and kicked Wambugu out. So I want to assume that even this story of Gathoni could be true. But how will it affect Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna? Number one, these guys are going to be branded as projects. And the moment ODM will start branding them like that, I don't know how they'll be able to recover. Because according to the story by the Inoro FM presenter, who is very popular on the ground there, their work is supposed to be two: the GNC support and Mount Kenya. The truth of the matter is that in Mount Kenya, if these guys were to pick, for example, Ndindi Nyoro as the presidential candidate, or maybe Babu Owino as the running mate, that's a good ticket. Or even if they were to pick Babu as a presidential candidate and then Ndindi Nyoro as a running mate, again, that's a good ticket. But probably they may not know that Wamuchomba is on a mission. And of course, the Gen Z support. This team has that support. So if now they'll be branded projects, where do you think the Gen Zs will go? What about Mount Kenya? Number two, it will also be about the questions about their source of campaign funds. Because that has been something which Kenyans have been asking. Who is funding these people? Of course, some of them are not poor, but they cannot manage a presidential campaign unless someone is funding those activities. So that question now will be more pronounced. People will be asking them, where are you getting money to finance your campaigns? And importantly, about the 2027 politics. Remember, the moment Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna will be branded as projects of Ruto, the impact that will have on their re-election bid. Because for Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna, they were on ODM side. Currently, based on the trajectory they've taken, they seem to be on the side of Rigathi Gachagua. And it was hoped that Rigathi Gachagua was going to persuade Mount Kenya to vote for the two, either the governor, as a governor and as a senate. Now, if they'll be viewed as projects, can Rigathi trust them? I don't know. And lastly, why are they opposed to broad-based government? That is a question which now will come up, because most people would interpret that they're opposed to broad-based government just for the sake of it, while in real sense, they are working for William Ruto through the back door. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, but it's going to be very unfortunate if indeed that is the mission of Governor Wamuchomba to this team. Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna deserves better, because they're the future of this country. Until that time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.